Good afternoon, and thank you for coming in to talk to us today. For the sake of the camera, would you tell us your name?
Lisa Gonzales.
And what year were you born?
1969.
And where are you from originally?
I am from Scioto County, from as far back as I can remember.
That's great. Where did you go to school?
I graduated from Northwest High School, although I attended many of the schools in the Scioto County area.
Oh, that's great. And just to get you a little bit loosened up here, do you have any particular favorite childhood experiences from growing up in Scioto County?
Going to the Memphis pool with my aunt. I spent a lot of time at the old Memphis ball fields out by the Memphis airport, or what they would call the Portsmouth airport. Just out at White Gravel Caves, hanging out around that area. Stockdale's one of my favorite little hometowns, out by Brown's Dairy Farm.
That's great. Now, we asked you to come in and talk to us a little bit about your experiences with the 9/11 tragedy. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
When I found out about the 9/11 tragedies, I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio. My son has been diagnosed with bipolar, and we were making trips back and forth from Scioto County to Cincinnati more than living here, so we decided to move there. I graduated from Shawnee State with a bachelor's of English, but there were just no jobs in the local area that paid. And oddly enough, I had picked up a job as a school bus driver at Riggs Bus Company. And I had been out driving my bus route for the morning. I clocked in at 5:10 in the morning and had to be at my first drop at 6:10 in the morning, and had finished my morning route, had come back in for my first morning route, and gotten off my bus. And you're required to drive with a videotape in your video camera just in case there's an incident on your school bus. And had taken that out and was walking back in, and of course you heard the chitter chatter that was going on in the bus company. It was the talk of the town at the time. Our company, or our country, was in turmoil, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing was going down. So I had found my roommate at the time, and I just couldn't believe my ears. And so we found a TV in the bus garage, and as we stood there watching the TV, the second plane hit the second tower and it fell. And so we stood there and we watched the news for a while, and as we tried to grasp what was happening to our country, we were also in turmoil of what actually would be going on our routes in the afternoon, because in Cincinnati, a lot of the schools are made up of multicultural students. Many of the students were from different countries and spoke many different languages. A lot of them carried translators because they couldn't understand what you were saying in English. It made it very difficult because you really didn't know what was going to happen on your school route that evening. So that was quite the experience. Everyone was on edge. They didn't know whether they even wanted to drive their route that evening. Thank God it went off without a hitch, and there wasn't any kind of incidences other than the regular things that went on the school buses. But I can guarantee you that unlike any other evening where most bus drivers probably wouldn't care whether or not they had used that tape cassette recorder on that bus, there was a tape in every recorder on that bus that night. So we went home that evening, and we lived in a house that was on Route 50 that was directly catty-cornered from Anderson Ferry, right directly across from the Cincinnati airport, which is conveniently in Kentucky, much like the Portsmouth airport is in Memphis. And of course, it was very strange to not hear any airplanes in the air at all. It was completely and totally quiet. The UDF was probably lined up 8 blocks down the road in front of our house, because there were stories that the gas prices were going to go up to $7, $8, $9, $10 a gallon, because we just didn't know what the country was going to do. So it was a very, very scary experience.
You mentioned your students on the bus routes. Did you notice a difference in any of the students in the weeks following?
It was just, everyone was just on edge. You could notice it in the students, you could notice it in the drivers. I mean, people just really didn't know how to react with each other because of their beliefs and our beliefs. There was suddenly this huge wall between everyone. And then all the flags started going up. And I can't imagine if we were feeling that way, how the other people were feeling, seeing that mass support of our beliefs going up in front of their eyes. I mean, they were in a strange country, and maybe they didn't even have the same beliefs as these people that were doing those things to us. Or maybe they did have the same beliefs, and who knows what could have happened.
How has the 9/11 tragedy, how has it changed your life, how you view the world?
I've always innately, and especially being now a veteran and used to, as a former member of the United States Air Force, had opportunities to be involved with people of foreign cultures and have wanted to get to know them as people. Not all people are the same. Just because one group has a certain belief does not mean that everyone has that same belief. So therefore, I feel that we can't treat all people of that one same culture or group the same, because they may not have that same belief. I can't judge them because they're a certain race, color, gender, sexuality, simply because of one group of people that chose to do a bad thing. I just simply think that that's unfair. And although 9/11 was a terrible tragedy for many people, many families, and our country, a lot of people suffered. Not just our country. People in other countries that were also involved in 9/11 suffered. Innocent people